Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, today we will talk about how to do literature review, and specifically in this video I will discuss what is literature review, why it is important to us to do the literature review, and what is the easy way to do literature review. Alright, so the first things we should know the definition of literature review. The literature review is a critical analysis of existing research on specific topics. Let me give an example. You are going to do research on transportation engineering. Specifically, if I say that you are solving the problem of traffic congestions, right? So, what will happen when you are going to do research? You should have enough knowledge on traffic congestions, right? So, for that, you will read a lot of research paper. So when you will read a lot of research paper, actually you will ask yourself, what is the problem, why this problem happening, what is the way, what is the method that a previous researcher used, so what the alternatives way that actually you can apply for your research, right? So in many way actually you will ask yourself a lot of questions for those research, right? So it will build the critical analyze critical analysis and ability to understand the problems, right? And that's why we do the literature review. Actually it will give you a comprehensive overview of particular area or problems or the solutions that already done by other researcher. So this is the definition of literature review. And what is the importance of literature review? If you do the literature review, actually you will build knowledge. How you build your knowledge? When you are reading the research paper, actually you are trying to understand the current state of research that actually you will go and you will do for your next project, right? So for doing that you should have enough knowledge to understand the problem, to identify the gaps, what the current researcher are trying to figure out. So those things actually you can do if you do literature review properly. So in the next slide we will know the purpose of literature review. So what is the purpose of literature review? The first things, when you do the literature review, it will give you the context enough for a study, and then you can identify the gaps that the current researcher or previous researcher are trying to figure out the problems, they are trying to solve the problems. So this is called the research gap actually. And when you will read research paper, you have to understand the research gap. You have to just not only you are reading the research paper, you have to understand critically what is the gap, what is the problem actually they are solving, what the problem they haven't found the solutions. So those things actually you have to understand when you are reading the research paper, and this is the purpose of doing literature review. All right, then when you do the literature review, actually it gives you and synthesize the existing knowledge, and also you will also learn the significance of the research, why it is important, why we need to do this, why we have to solve this problem. Actually you will know a lot of answer from existing research. So that's why it is important to do the literature review, and this is the purpose of doing literature review. The next slide we will talk about the types of literature review. So basically in here I just select three types of review. The first things is called the narrative review, second one is systematic review, and third one is meta analysis. Okay, so what is narrative review? So when I'm talking about narrative review, that's mean when you are doing and reading research paper, so what will happen, you are going to summarize, right, and interpret the literature. Literature means that what is the introduction, what is the method they use, what is their solution. So you are gathering all those information in one, in let's say in one review. So it's called actually the narrative review. Okay, so then we have the systematic review. So systematic review basically follow a structured process, step by step process. Let's say we are going to solve a problem related to urban traffic environment. Okay, environment. Okay, or you want to know about the current state of connected autonomous vehicle or connected vehicle. So what you do, you will select the years, right? Let's say if I want to do, so what I do, I will select the area. Let's say I am going to do 2020 to 2023. Okay, so I select the research area, I mean the year. Okay, yeah. Then choose the topics, then I choose the keyword. Okay, so then I will narrow my search, and specifically in a particular independent area I will discuss, which is about connected autonomous vehicle, so CAV. In this way, actually, step by steps, you can do your review, and it is called the systematic review. All right. So then in the next slide, I will discuss about the literature search strategy. This is important actually. When you will search for literature review, so you have to follow the effective strategy. Okay, so what is the effective strategy? The first things, you have to use the database. Okay, what database? The database that you can rely. So how we have a popular database called Google Scholar, Scopus. We have database Web of Science, right? So you have to select this type of database when you are doing the literature review. Number one. Then second, you have to choose the good journal. Okay, good journal. So what I mean in many way, you can select the good journal, or just reputable sources also. All right. And also, what will happen in my next video, actually I will show you by using Google Scholar or Scopus or Web of Science, and I will show that actually how you can do the effective literature search strategy. Okay, so if I summarize this slide, so I will say the first things, you will select reliable and trusted database. Then you will select the good journal, and also the good keywords, and the proper and employ keywords. Okay, this is important when you are doing the literature search strategy. Okay, then in my next slide, I will talk about the selecting the relevant sources. Let's say so many students, so many people, we are wasting our time for selecting so many articles. We are downloading those articles and save in our computers, but we are not reading. So it is not the effective way actually. When you are selecting the relevant source, the number one things, you have to select only the based on the quality. Okay, when you are selecting the sources, you have to consider the quality only. Okay, not the quantity. Okay, also you have to follow and consider the relevancy, credibility, and the recency when you are selecting a database or journal or articles. Okay, so this is the way actually you can select a proper and right relevant source for your research. In the next slide, we will talk about how you can organizing your literature review. So it is important. Let's say you are reading research paper every day, one paper one day. But the problem is, you are not summarizing, you are not organizing, you are not saving what you are actually reading. So it will not, ultimately it will not help you anymore in your research. When you are going to read the research paper or any academic book or journal, anything, you have to summarize it. So how you will summarize? Let's say I'm reading a research paper, so I need to understand the introduction, I need to understand their abstract, I need to understand the research methodology, what methodology they use, what method they use, what was there, a process of data analysis, what the method they use for doing the data analysis, and what is the conclusion, what is the future direction of research. So all those things, what I can do, I can summarize, right? And I organize in a, like say, in a Excel sheet or in a Google doc or anywhere. It's depend on you, that which application you are using and comfortable, and you are used to with those applications. So you can use any applications. But you have to organize. Let's say I'm reading a research paper, right? So this is a research paper. Okay, so in this paper we have, sorry, okay, let's say we have introduction, right? So I will summarize my introduction in one line. Okay, I have abstract, so I will summarize this abstract by one line or two line. It depends on how many lines you need to do proper summarized. Then it will organize, right? So this is the way actually you can organize your literature review. So if I do my if I summarize this slide, actually how you organize. First of all, you read the research paper, and every section of your research paper you just do the summary. Okay, and then you will write in a Excel sheet, and you save it. You do continuously 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day. Okay, when you will write, when you will sit for write your research article or review article, actually you will get help from the literature review. So that's why we are doing the literature review. All right, and this is the way that actually you can follow to do the organizing your literature review. Okay, then in my next slide we will talk about the synthesizing the information. So what you do, you will summarize the keyword, you will identify the patterns, you will identify the themes, you will identify their gaps or what they are trying to figure out. So all those things actually you will do the summary. Okay, so this is the a way to do a proper literature review. And this is important. This is number one, critical analysis. When you are reading the research paper or summarizing the research paper, but you are not like following the way to do the analysis critically, right? So that's why it is important. So you have to ask yourself why you are doing this research, what is the problem, why they choose this solution. Okay, what is the alternative of that solution? So in many way you'll ask yourself so many questions that makes your ability and understanding on that particular area or research. Okay, so it is important when you are reading the research paper, you ask yourself, not simply you just trust someone's results without judging. So you have to critically think, you have to critically analyze what they are talking about, what they are doing, why they did it, why they choose those method, why they follow that way to do the data analysis. So that's why you have to analyze the research paper when you will do a literature review. All right, then okay, writing style. Okay, when we are doing literature review, actually the main purpose of literature review, I already discussed that we are building our knowledge, right? And we are gathered the information. So why we are gathering the information? Because we will use those information next time when you will read, when you will write the thesis or research paper or review paper, right? So that's why we have to follow the writing style. So we are writing the research article or research paper for what? For the academic purpose, right? So we have to follow the academic tone when you are writing the research paper or literature review. Then citation and the referencing. Okay, so when you are doing research, we have to practice to do the citation or referencing properly. Because when we are doing research, that's mean we are practicing and exercising ethics, right? Like in a honest way, whatever we are taking from other people, we should give the credits to other people, right? If you don't give the credit to other people, that means when someone will read the research paper of your research paper, they will not trust you that okay, this researcher haven't used the proper citation or referencing. You try to like the hide the original author, and you are showing that okay, you did this work. No, it's not the right way actually. So that's why when you are doing the research or doing the literature review or anything, that you have to have, you know you have to use proper citation and referencing. So that's why it is important, practice. Okay, now we have the avoiding the plagiarism. Okay, plagiarism is very important when you are writing. So everywhere, whatever you are taking from someone's articles or research paper or review paper or thesis, you should mention, you should give them credit. In this way actually you can avoid the plagiarism. But you are just not simply paraphrase and changing the original meaning, and you are claiming that this is your works. No, this is not your works. You get this idea from other people, so you should give the credit to other people, right? So that's why it is important to write properly and avoiding the plagiarism. So in my next slide, I will discuss about the revision and editing. When you will do your literature review, or you will write your thesis, or you write your research paper, actually you cannot see your mistakes. So if you want to see your mistakes, so what will happen, you have to give it to other people. Other people can see your mistakes, you cannot see your mistakes. So that's why it is important when you are doing and writing research paper, thesis or review paper, you please show it to professors, show it to your friends, show it to other researcher. They can give you advice. And based on their advice, you can enhance your writing. And you can make it like a good literature review. Without that, actually you cannot write a good literature review. So that's why it is important to give it to other people. Other people will see it, other people will see the mistakes, and then you can discuss and get their feedbacks and solve it. And this is the way actually. And this is the mistakes that actually we do when we are doing the literature review. So this is important actually. Okay, when you were doing the literature review, we are not selecting the proper and reputable source or reliable source or trusted source. That actually we have to do, but we don't do it, right? So when we are doing literature review, we have to select proper source, correct source and relevant source. That is important to our research. Okay, then we have always lack of critical analysis. Okay, we are not critically analysis the paper. We just read the paper, we making the summary, that's all. No, this is not the correct way or proper way to do the literature review. So you have to ask a lot of questions. Previously I already told that you have to ask, okay, why this happened, what is the alternatives way, why they use this way, why they use this type of data. So in many way actually you can ask yourself. So if you don't ask yourself, that's when you are just skipping the critical analysis steps for your literature review. So that's why it is important when you are doing the literature review, you have to consider, you have to do critically analysis your research paper that you are reading for your literature review. So that's why it is important. And failure to identify the gaps. Basically, if someone asks me what is the main purpose of doing the literature review, I say the identify the research gap. Actually identify what the researcher are trying to solve, and what problem actually they are trying to figure out. So that's the thing should be your main purpose when you are reading the research paper. and doing your literature review. So it is important for you to identify the gaps. If you don't, if you cannot identify the gaps, that's mean you have lack of knowledge on that particular field. So you read and build your knowledge on that particular area to identify the research gap. So this is important, because when you identify the research gap, it will give you idea to solve it, and it will give you like the way that actually you can think, and you can find out alternative solution for that problem. So it is important. Without identifying the research gap, that's mean you are not doing a proper literature review. So remember, it is important to identify the literature research gap. Okay, if I summarize my class, so what I can say, when you are doing the literature review, that's mean you are critically analyzes the research paper, existing research. So what is the critical analysis? You will always ask why it is happening, what is the problem, how they solve it, why they solve it, uh, what is the alternative way. So in many way you will ask yourself, okay, number one thing. And when you do the literature review, actually it will give you a comprehensive overview on that particular area. And also, it is important when you are doing the literature review to find out the research gap, so that you can get so many ideas to solve next problem. So I believe this class will help you to understand how to write a literature review. If you have any questions, you can put your comments on the comment section. I believe I will answer all of your questions. Thank you so much for watching my videos, and thanks for your time.